Hello and welcome along to another What the Trig math video. So What the Trig here, and I want to talk today about Equatio MathSpace. So Equatio is by Texthelp. I am a Google coach, innovator and trainer, and this is one of the perks that you get from holding those accreditations. But Equatio is also free for teachers, so do check that out as well. So let's head over to their MathSpace, and it sits at equatio.texthelp.com. That's the web address, and that's where it sits. Think Jamboard, but for maths. Think anything that you could really do there, you can kind of do here. So I'm just going to create a new space today. All your other spaces sit there that you've made, and you can add tags, and then you can search by your tag for what you've called it. So if you called it fractions, you could find all the ones that were fractions. So here is the blank space, so you can give it a title. And also down at the bottom here, if you don't want the grid lines, you can turn that off. So if you go into options and space options, you can turn off the squared paper and you can make that blank. And if you wanted a different coloured background, perhaps your students prefer a different colour, you can do that as well and save, and that will change the background for you. So you've got all your Equatio tools along the bottom, and I have an Equatio toolbar video. Do check that out if you want a full demo. But this one is the freehand drawing. So this one can be anything that you would sketch or annotate. I'm just using my finger on my touch screen, but you could put your Wacom tablet in or anything else that you've got with your Chromebook that go in, or your touch screen itself. This slide sorter view on the left-hand side, then, you can duplicate. So you can duplicate the frame. And also when you're finished, you can go back here and you can download as a PDF, so everything comes out as a PDF. Or you can pull individual frames out as a PNG. You can also upload any images. So if you've got any images that you want to annotate around any diagrams, you just click that button, drag it in, and it will make it. But that's not what I'm here to do today. What I'm here to do today is I want to talk about manipulatives and visualizing the maths. So there's over 250 shapes that sit in Equatio MathSpace. I'm just going to go to more shapes here, and I'm just going to drag in coins. I'm in the UK, but you can see there are different currencies available, and I'm going to drag those in like this. And what I want to do is just infinitely clone these. And what this means is when I share these with my students, they get an infinite supply of these to solve problems. And you'll see where I'm going with this shortly. So each of these, I'm going to infinitely clone all the decimal ones. I don't need the twos and the ones. So I'm going to get rid of those. All of these as well, just to say, super cool, are have labels that can be read aloud.
10 pence.
And it'll read that aloud for you. If you want to change the label, you just change that in there as well. So that's my coin one done. I'm going to put another frame in here, another page, it calls it in here. I'm going to go into shapes, and I'm going to hit the more shapes, and this time I'm going to bring in some base 10s. I prefer them in 2D, it does them in 3D. You do you, but I just prefer them in the 2D. I don't need the 100, but I do need the 10s that I'm going to infinitely clone, and the ones that I'm going to infinitely clone. And then I've just got one more page, and I'm going to go into smart shapes this time. So those were in shapes. This next one is in smart shapes. And you've got super cool fractions, polygons, and you can change the number of vertices in a polygon. Really cool, but it's number line that I'm after today. And what we've got are these options down here. So the number of segments, I'm just going to up that to 20. So if I up that to 20, I'm going to leave the labels on, but I don't want it starting at 0. I want it to start at -10. There we go. Start at -10, going up in ones. Yeah, that all looks cool. Yeah, that's right. All right. So we've got that number line now. I can lock this in place for my students so they can't move it about. And what I'm going to do, super simple, is I'm just going to hit the share button over here. And I'm going to make a copy and expect a response. Just needs that to do this next little bit that it needs. So I'm going to hit continue. And you can see that it's got that Google Classroom button. So I'm going to hit that. Now, I'm demoing for you in my trainer domain, so it's not my actual domain, but the process is still the same. So see what I've been doing. So as you can see, I have popped a little instructions for my class, like if you need any help. So what I've done here is this MathSpace is sort of replicating anything where I would be like, go to the cupboard, get the blocks, go to the cupboard, get the coins, go to the cupboard, get the counters, anything like that, where I would have said to them in class, you need a physical representation of the maths to help you tackle the problem. Or I've pointed at the number line around the board. This gives them that digitally. So I'm just going to assign this to my class. Now you can see it's sitting at the top. I would always have this sat at the top in my classroom to give my students help anyway. But what I want to show you is what it looks like for the students. So if I just grab the link from that MathSpace that we opened. Okay, so I'm a student, I've got a problem, and I would normally get the coins out in class. But my teacher, me, What the Trig Math, has sent me this MathSpace. And what I can do is I can infinitely grab these. Remember, we infinitely cloned them. So however many coins I need to help me solve the problem, I can drag them across. Same with the tens blocks. You know, if I'm trying to work out a complex problem, I can drag as many blocks as I need to help me visualize the problem, and then I can try and work it out. Same goes on the number line. Remember, I locked it in place, but I've still got the freehand drawing. So if I want to start thinking about my start number and adding and subtracting, where will I end up? I can start to draw those on. And every time I open it up, this comes out fresh for me as a student, and I can start to visually see my maths. And all my teacher's done is just pinned it to the top of my Google Classroom. Equatio by Texthelp, free for teachers, free for Google certified coaches, innovators and trainers as well. So check out the perks page. I'm What the Trig Math, and I'll be back with another video really soon.